Hi everyone, my name is Ali Azhar. My research project topic is CCTV surveillance and traffic flow management on Swanston Street, Melbourne. It is a Just City perspective. Moving on to the next slide is title and research question. So the project asks how CCTV-based traffic management raises ethical and privacy concerns and whether these practices align with the Just City framework. To guide the research, I have developed three objectives. First, to examine how CCTV surveillance is represented and implemented. Second, to assess ethical and privacy concerns. And third, to analyze how the practices of CCTV traffic management on Swanston Street align with Just City principles. This focus ensures the project is specific, feasible, and connected to core debates in urban planning. So the next slide is about background and problem statement. Melbourne has one of the most extensive CCTV networks in Australia, particularly concentrated in central business district. Swanston Street is a strategic site for surveillance and traffic flow management due to its high pedestrians and vehicle activity. The broader smart city agenda positions CCTV as a tool to increase efficiency and security. However, critical urban scholarship highlights that these initiatives can neglect equity, inclusivity, and privacy. So the problem is that while surveillance is widely deployed in Melbourne, there is very limited evaluation of its implications from a just perspective, especially using frameworks such as the Just City. Moving on to the next slide, research justification and aim. So basically, this study is justified by clear gap in the literature. Although surveillance in smart cities is studied internationally, but there is a very little linking between Melbourne CCTV traffic management to framework of justice. The aim is to critically assess Swanston Street as a case study with a focus on ethical and privacy concerns and the broader justice implications. The contribution lies in generating Melbourne-specific insights that can inform planning debates about how to balance efficiency with fairness and inclusivity. This topic aligns strongly with the program themes of governance, urban justice, and participatory planning. Existing literature highlights several benefits of CCTV in traffic management. Okay, so surveillance can improve safety and reduce crime in public spaces while also supporting more efficient traffic flow and congestion management. As you know, the Swansea Street is very congested, so it can help with that as well. CCTV also assists in emergency response, such as monitoring accident or managing large events. In Melbourne, the City Council presents CCTV as enhancing safety, livability, and economic activity, aligning with the broader smart city vision of technological efficiency. So the benefits are clear. They are only one side of debate. So, in the literature also highlights serious concerns. Scholars argue that surveillance risk eroding privacy and normalizing constant monitoring in public life. There are also concerns about how data is governed, including potential misuse and lack of transparency. Studies indicate that surveillance practices may disproportionately impact marginalized groups, raising questions of fairness and exclusions. Yet in Melbourne, there is limited research examining these justice implications of CCTV in traffic management. So in the methodology and data sources, the project adopts a qualitative case study approach focused on Swansea Street. So the primary method will be document analysis of policy and planning material, such as the City of Melbourne Transport Strategy 2030 in the Smart City framework. These will be thematically coded for reference to surveillance, privacy, efficiency, and justice. Secondary data, such as traffic data sets from Vic Roads and the ABS, will be used to a pattern of mobility and surveillance. So the analysis will be guided by, for instance, Just City framework, which provides principle of evaluating equity, democracy, and diversity. So my preliminary findings confirm that Melbourne is one of the densest CCTV networks in Australia, particularly in the central business district CBD. Policy documents strongly emphasize safety, security, and efficiency as justifications for surveillance. However, there is little explicit consideration of privacy, transparency, or equity in these documents. This highlights an important gap: the lack of justice-oriented perspective in Melbourne's approach to CCTV-enabled traffic management. This gap provides the entry point for my analysis. Moving on to the last slide, my work plan and the next steps, what I'm going to do. My work plan ensure the project remains feasible within that time frame. Over the next 2 weeks, I will refine my literature review with a particular focus on scholarship related to CCTV ethics and the concept of justice. In week 9 to 10, I will collect the code, policy, and planning documents. And in week 10 and 11, I will complete the analysis using content analysis informed by Just CV framework. Finally, in the last 2 weeks, I will draft the findings, discussion, and recommendation section ready for final submission at the end of week 12. Thank you so much.